partition all stacked up. The first thing to know about them is that they're hinged together in pairs, so they open up like a book. So if you were to just grab the front one and pull it out, the one it's hinged to is going to try to go back. So to keep it from banging into the other panels and scratching stuff up or whatever, if you take the pair first and pull it out, and then open it up, then you're less likely to have this one run into the other ones that are stacked. So once
you're going to move it all the way to that side?
Yep. So there is a rail up here that helps align these as it extends. So it does need to unfold before that starts. So I just pull it off the stack, start to open it, and then push it down the way. On the bottom, there's a seal there that sticks out. So that's going to be the first thing that lines up with the wall. You do want to move these at a nice, normal walking pace. These two panels together weigh 600-700 pounds. So I don't want to run across the room with them. They roll really nice, but you don't want to slam them in there. So I'm just going to walk up, normal pace, make sure that's lined up and nestled in there. And then once it's making contact and it's lined up, then as I push this forward, then that seal is going to operate and come down and seal off to the floor.
Oh, look at that.
So then there's that one. So that doesn't take like a ramming motion to make that happen.
There's one more panel here.
So again, if you end up grabbing the pair first and pull it out.
Yeah. And then open it up a bit.
Correct. So we do want to miss that. I find if you're kind of over here and you have these each in a hand, you're less likely to run this into something.
And then
Same thing here as this comes across. I just want to make sure it's going to line up with that. I find that's easier to just be back here and kind of look down the panel. If you're trying to look at it and you're over here, usually people will push on it if they're trying to look. Sometimes that makes it a little out of alignment versus if I just stay back here, make sure it's nestled in there. Then I like to say in a separate motion, I'll push this forward and that seal will come back down. So then these last two are the same.
I assume also that these are basically in place, but it's, you basically always want it all open or all closed. Do people ever find it useful to, let's leave it like this with one panel open?
Wait, Ken, can we do those questions? So let's finish this.
Okay.
And can you do the last two? Why don't you do them?
So I'll just show you how this works again, and then you can use it as much as you like.
Okay.
So this would be the same way. I would want to pull it off the wall before I open it up. If I was just to grab this one, potentially that one could want to bang into the wall. So I'll grab the pair of them and pull them out.
Ken?
And extend this in place. So if I have my hands here, I'm less likely to run this into something since I'm aware of where the edges are. And then this one is a little different in that the seals are already just adjusted to the floor and they stay there. They don't operate up and down. So you might notice a little more resistance when we move this one. Once it's here, there's a handle here to help line it up. I'm just gonna slide it forward until it aligns with that one. And then the handle fits in this mechanism. There's arrows on here that say extend and retract. So if I tried to turn it the one way, it won't go, and then the other way will let this crank out. So then that's just gonna nestle up in that jam. Once it starts to make contact, it's okay to turn it another quarter, half a turn. That's just gonna make sure everything's fully seated. But it's not like changing a car tire. We don't wanna jump up and down on it and really try to force it.
Oh, hold, wait, Ken. Wait.
So then once that's in there, then you do want to take this out. That's pretty much it as far as it being set up. To put it away is the exact opposite of all of that. We'll go ahead and crank this all the way in till it stops, just to give you all the room to maneuver this thing. So to fold it up, I do want to slide it back out of that other panel a little, and then I can just push this thing here to fold. And then to get these seals to come up, I just grab the panel, pull it back, and they'll automatically come up. And then it won't fold up yet because of that rail, so I do want to push it back towards the stack area. I find it's easier to push than to walk backwards pulling it. And it does want to clear this as it folds up. The easiest way for me to tell that and not be trying to stare up here and run it into something, I just get it close, a few inches away, and then if I push off to the side, it'll just fold right up. And then this one, same way.
You also pull a little bit, get it away, and then you would walk it down to the area where it's past that little.
Which I just bring up to a few inches short of running into those.
Yeah.
So just keep going,
You
keep going,
can
keep
feel-
going.
You can feel it release.
And then, yep.
And then it goes like this. Walk it in.
Is there anything else you want to say before I turn this off?
So that's pretty much it for operation. A couple things to avoid. I mentioned grabbing the pair and pulling it out. You're going to be less likely to bang it into here. But the other thing it hopefully does as you come over here and hang on to these, what these stickers are about is you wouldn't want to leave your fingers in this hinge point and be looking up at that rail and just grabbing one, because at some point it will pinch your fingers. So the easiest way to avoid that, if you're over here and these are in your hands, you're less likely to bang it into something, and you're as far away as you can be from there, and you're not going to leave your fingers in. That's pretty much it. The covering is heavy duty vinyl. It's like wallpaper. So if it does get fingerprints or smudges on it, you can use 409 or Simple Green or any kind of all-purpose cleaner in a rag. It cleans up pretty well. But like wallpaper, you could tear it, so you don't want to stack things against it. You want to lean a bunch of tables up against it or anything like that, just so you don't end up hurting the finish.
And is there a repair if you do?
We can recover them. If something happened to one, you can fix them. We can recover them in place. If years down the road you decide you want a different color, you want them to look different, you can completely recover the whole wall and change the color of it. You can even change material if you wanted to have fabric instead of vinyl. Or
Can you
something
just
else.
patch it, like if you have a little?
We don't typically patch them. If somebody cut out a little patch and put another piece in there, you can tend to still see that all the time. So usually we would just recover the whole thing in one
Okay.
sheet again. You know how many loose edges that come up or can peel. Or,
Okay.
And what do I say to somebody who says, can we just put up 2 panels and leave this open here?
Right. So that's probably it for demonstration if you like.
Okay.
You can answer